Niabi Zoo is going to the dogs in a good way, helping preserve the endangered African painted dogs. 6 of these animals scheduled to arrive at Niabi. Dr. Greg Rasmussen joins us here today from the Painted Dog Research Trust in Zimbabwe, and then our friend Joel Vanderbush is here from Niabi because we're getting ready for the dogs to come in soon.
Absolutely.
When, Joel? When do you think they're going to be here?
Well, it's hard to say exactly because we do have to do the construction of the exhibit, and that depends on the contractors. But
better do that first, right?
We do hope before the end of the season that we will see these dogs at the zoo.
Good.
So yeah.
Well, I love the photos of them. They're gorgeous as can be, and this has just kind of been your baby project
for the last 35 years.
Only 35 years?
Yeah, I was only going to do it for 6 months, and life takes a turn sometimes.
Yes. Do you feel a special devotion?
Oh
to
yeah,
them,
I mean they're just amazing, and I fell in love with them 35 years ago when a pack was one member of the pack was injured by a lion, and we thought he was dead, and then we came back the next day and he was gone and he'd been dragged away. Looked like he'd been dragged away by hyenas that had scavenged him, and suddenly I noticed one member of the pack, and it was a dog called Circus. I'm giving Circus a plug.
Okay.
We've got a children's book called A Dog Called Circus coming out. And Circus would disappear every single day and go some 10, 13, 14 miles. We didn't know where he was going. And he'd come back. And then we tracked him one day on foot. And we found that he was going back every single day to clean his brother's wounds and feed him every single day. And he did that for 3 months. And it was the first case ever of a wild animal, a species in the wild, taking care of its sick and its weak. And that was it. That was the hook.
That was it.
The hooks were in me.
Yes. You said we have to preserve this animal that is endangered. Why, Doctor? What's the reason, Greg?
Well, they're highly endangered because, like the wolf, they were persecuted for the last 100 or more years. They were slaughtered in their thousands because they were putative cattle killers, believed to be. And there was also the kind of the Red Riding Hood mentality. Coming out of books that they're big bad wolf, and so there were bounty programs persecuting them until there were almost none in Africa, and the few numbers we have today are still double what they were probably 30, 40 years ago before we started conservation work.
Well, and now that you're able to provide these animals even for our zoo here in Coal Valley, Illinois, is kind of a miracle, it sounds like, to me. And do you work with other organizations like this, Greg?
Oh, absolutely. Part of my mission, I'm in love with wherever painted dogs are, I want to be.
Okay.
Wherever I can make a difference, I want to make a difference. And that's why I'll go anywhere where there are painted dogs. Or not painted dogs, but they're going to be there.
They're going to be here. And with 6 of them, that's a pack for them? Is that
yeah, that's a pack.
As
long as they get some boys and girls in there. You need for them to grow, you need boys and girls.
Let's mix in the boys and the girls. Is that the plan, Joel?
That's definitely the plan.
Okay.
Yeah, because it'll be our 13th endangered species there at the zoo, and what is so important for us is that conservation is key to everything that we do there, and if we're going to contribute to the saving of the species, we would certainly like to breed them.
I'm glad you're saying about the conservation, because I think sometimes there's a pushback against zoos. People think, oh, we're just going to peer at these animals through bars. But the conservation is number one, certainly at your zoo, our zoo, Joel. And are you finding that that's a movement kind of worldwide?
No, zoos inspire youngsters of today to be tomorrow's conservationists, and that is the truth. Good. I've got a fun story even from Africa where I used to go to schools wearing a dog suit.
A painted dog suit?
A painted dog, of course. Like, what else?
There's
no
other other dog, yes.
That's what I go to dinner parties in.
Your painted dog costume,
and many years later, I had a young African graduate student, and she was with me, and I said, how did you get into conservation? She said, you don't remember me? I said, no, not really. She said, you came into my classroom when I was 8 years old in a dog suit, and from that day on, I wanted to be a conservation biologist. And sure enough, she just finished her master's.
The guy in the dog suit. You're memorable that way. I'm sure you were, Greg. So, call to action for folks watching now. What's the best thing we could do, Joel, to help make this happen?
Well, I think the important thing for us in this community is to still help us bring the painted dogs to the zoo, because our campaign to bring them is almost fulfilled, but we still have about $27,000 left to raise to bring them here. So, and people can see that on our website where they can contribute to our Painted Dog campaign. But the other thing too is we have Greg here, you know, the world's foremost authority on painted dogs.
The man
so you
in
might
the
as
dog
well
suit.
you know, take advantage of that. And so
I'll bring the dog suit.
so like last night we spoke at Western Illinois University there in the Quad Cities. Tonight we're speaking at St. Ambrose. So if people want to still attend that, they can go right to our website, niabizoo.com, and go to our conservation speaker page, and they can still sign up. You know, we're in, I think, Marshall Hall, room 13, starts at 7 o'clock tonight.
PaintedDogResearch.org is where you can go, and maybe there's a picture on that site of Dr. Greg wearing that painted dog suit.
No, that has to be by special appointment only.
It's highly classified.
I mean, next time you want me on the show, I'll have to.
Okay,
you have to
I would have put in for that.
book me years in advance for my dog
Greg,
suit.
it's great to see you again. Thank you for stopping by. And Joel, thanks for bringing him back.
Our pleasure.
I know you were stuck over in England for, was it England for
7 months.
7 months during COVID. So
And my dog missed me, my domestic dog.
Oh, I'll bet. Yeah. You love other dogs as well.
Yeah,
Of course you do. Good seeing you both. Thanks, you guys.
All right, lovely.